Good afternoon. Welcome to Open House for Rockingham County Veterans Treatment Court. If you will please stand for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. Thanks.
Freeze, sir. Coach.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rockingham County High School JROTC, for presenting the flags, and for Kelly Hayden for reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Before we get started, you know, sorry, I forgot to say that part. Sorry. I thought bailiff would help me out with that. Thank you all for being here today and being a part of this program. Also, a special thank you before we get started to the Rockingham County, North Carolina Federated Men's Club, especially Rich Willis and Billy Farker. They provided the flags for each military branch as well as the seals displayed in the back of the courtroom. So thank you for those. My name is Chrissy Griffin. I am the Veterans Treatment Court Coordinator, and we're honored to have you here today as we open our doors to share the important work that is being done to support our veterans through this specialized court. Veterans Treatment Court is more than just a justice initiative. It's a commitment to healing, restoring dignity, and recognizing the sacrifices made by those who served our country. The mission of the Rockingham County Veterans Treatment Court is to create a support system to assist veterans involved in the criminal justice system and to promote public safety through accountability and responsibility. I want to take a moment to recognize the initial team that met to discuss the possibility of having a Veterans Treatment Court here in Rockingham County. These conversations started over a year ago, and the team was diligent in making sure that this was something that the county wanted. So that initial team was made up of Rockingham County Manager Lance Metzler and his administration, Rockingham County Commissioners Kevin Berger, Charlie Hall, Mark Richardson, Houston Barrow, and Don Powell. Representative Reese Pirtle, Supreme Court Justice Associate Justice Phil Berger Jr., Court of Appeals Judge Chris Freeman, Clerk of Court Abner Bullings, Superior Court Judge Stan Allen, Superior Court Judge Jason Ramey, Chief District Court Judge Tony Grogan, Sheriff Sam Page, the Independence Fund, Kevin Souther, Tammy Howe, and Jamie Bask, and Julie Baldwin. Thank you for making that possibility the reality that it is today. So now we have a team that is working hard every day for this program, and the passion that this team has is unmatched. And that has been found through lengthy meetings, through lengthy trainings, and deep conversations regarding how this program will work here in the county. So for those that are making this life-changing work possible, each of these members plays a critical role in supporting the veterans and ensuring they're held accountable and responsible. I'm thankful to be a part of this team and to see each person's unique contribution to the team. Team members include Judge Erica Brandon and Judge Scott Skidmore, District Attorney Katie Greta and Assistant District Attorney Josh Bowers, Defense Attorney Tim Dugan, Chief Probation Parole Officer Matt Harris, and Probation Officer Tanita Cox, Veterans Justice Outreach Specialist Jeremy Brockton, Veteran Mentor Coordinator Tammy Howe, Veteran Services Director Wanda Laney, Clerk of Court Abner Bullings, and his clerks Lauren Lowe, Michaela Frazier, and Brandy Dyer. Irvin Best with Daymark, Sharon Dennis with Valiant Health, Jamie Vask and Julie Baldwin, our amazing research and evaluators. These individuals not only bring their expertise, but also a commitment to justice and to healing. Together, they represent a powerful partnership that goes from the court system all the way to the VA and everything in between to ensure that these veterans will get the services that they need. And more than that, the services they deserve. So a little bit about Veterans Treatment Court now that you've heard about the initial team that got it started and where we are today. When a justice-involved veteran enters Veterans Treatment Court, it is a life-changing decision, and it's not an easy one. They agree to participate for a minimum of 14 months, to attend court 2 times a month, to be drug tested 3 times a week, on top of their individualized treatment programs, as well as any other responsibilities that are placed on them by their treatment providers. Veterans Treatment Court uses initiatives to acknowledge their accomplishments as they overcome barriers and obstacles, and sanctions to hold them accountable for noncompliance. Again, they're making a life-changing decision that not only benefits them, but also benefits the community. Veterans Treatment Courts have shown reductions in reoffending, homelessness, substance use, and mental health issues. Today is an opportunity to learn about our mission, meet the dedicated team behind this court, and be a part of the life-changing program. Whether you are a community partner, a supporter, or simply here to learn, your presence helps strengthen the network that makes Veterans Treatment Court a success. At this time, I will ask Judge Erica Brandon to come forward.
Good afternoon. I have the esteemed pleasure of introducing to you a wonderful man, one that we're grateful to have in the House, and that is none other than Representative Reese Purden. Reese is a lifelong resident of Rockingham County and a 1985 graduate of Moorhead High School in Eden, North Carolina. He's a 1989 graduate of Appalachian State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in criminal justice. Reese joined the Eden Police Department in May of 1990 and held various positions over the years. On March 2nd of 2009, he was appointed Chief of Police for the City of Eden. That's when I started to know Reese. Reese retired as the Chief of Police from the Eden Police Department in January of 2018. On November the 8th of 2016, Reese was elected Commissioner for Rockingham County and re-elected in November of 2020. He resigned on August 12, 2021, after being nominated and appointed to fill an open seat in the North Carolina House of Representatives representing Rockingham County's District 65. In 2022 and 2024, he was re-elected to serve in the North Carolina General Assembly. As a legislator, Representative Cronin serves on the Committee for Appropriations. He's Vice Chair of the Appropriations, Justice and Public Safety, Health, Judiciary 2, Energy and Public Utilities, Rules, Calendars, and Operations of the House, and is the Chairman of the Alcohol Beverage Control Committee. He serves on the Select Committees on the Lean Recovery and Government Efficiency, 3 non-standing interim committees. Those are the North Carolina Courts Commission, the Joint Legislative Oversight Committee on Information Technology, and is Vice Chair of the Joint Legislative Oversight Committee on Justice and Public Safety. Reese lives with his wife Valerie and his daughter Ansley in Stoneville. His wife Valerie is an educator, and his daughter is a rising senior at his alma mater, Appalachian State University. He and his family are members of the First Wesleyan Church. When he is not working, you can find him spending time with his family and praying God. He currently is in many organizations, some of those being, he's a lifetime member of the North Carolina Association of Chiefs of Police, Eden Boys Girls Club, where he serves on the board of directors. He's on advisory committee for RCC's Criminal Justice Curriculum Program. He's on the board of directors of the UNC Rockingham Hospital, and he's on the Sentencing and Policy Advisory Commission. He's also served in the CAS on Project SAFE, Rockingham County. He was on the board of directors of the Juvenile Crime and Prevention Council of Rockingham County. He was vice chair of the Salvation Army, Rockingham County. He was president of the board of directors for the Eden Boys and Girls Club. He was executive board member of the Eden Rotary. He was a board member of the Eden Chamber of Commerce. He was chair and vice chair of the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners. He's a board member of the Communities and Schools. Has been a member of the Eden Rotary. He's been a board member of the Salvation Army Advisory Board of Eden, and also a board member of the Salvation Army of Rockingham County. And finally, he was a member of the North Carolina Domestic Violence Commission. At this time, I present to some and introduce to others, none other than our House of Representatives, Reese Burton.
Thank you very much. When I get some free time, I'll only short that by. It was about 2 pages, but it is a privilege and it's an honor to be here with you today to celebrate this open house of Rockingham County's new Veterans Treatment Court program, and a program that represents justice with compassion, structure, and purpose. As a retired police chief, I've had the opportunity to see how deeply our community is affected by the challenges that many of our veterans face. We've seen too many individuals who have served honorably return home, only to find themselves struggling with invisible wounds, whether it's PTSD, substance abuse, or other mental health issues. Too often they find themselves in the justice system that wasn't built for those unique battles. That's why this program matters. You know, as a legislator down in Raleigh, I had folks come by my office. A lot of people don't realize that's a public building. And they come by and they sit down across from me at my desk and they advocate for what's important to them. And oftentimes, those are veterans. And they're advocating for the programs that they need that is not available. And as I sit and listen to them talk, and some of these people are around the state, and I don't know. However, I do know their situation because as a police chief, I've watched those individuals leave our community. And there's one that's always going to stick in the back of my mind. He left our community, a bright-eyed young graduate of a local high school. His father engaged him in a career that was with law enforcement. And he went off to war and he come back broke. And it was really difficult being engaged in the criminal justice system to see how difficult it was to get resources to him and watch his family as they struggled with his struggles. I only wish that something like this would have been in place back then, if there may have been a different outcome. We can only hope so. We can only hope that this program makes a difference tomorrow. We can't do anything about yesterday, but this program can make a difference tomorrow. Veterans Treatment Court is a problem-solving program designed specifically to serve those who have served us. It offers a path to recovery rather than punishment, combining accountability with access to counseling and veteran mentorship. This is not about lowering standards, but about providing the right tools and the right support. And right here in Rockingham County, we're proud to be a part of a community that steps up for its own. Today's event is about more than just launching a program. It's about opening doors. If you're a veteran, a family member, a service provider, or simply a neighbor who wants to support this mission, there's a role for you in this program. Together, we can ensure that those that have worn the uniform are not just met with respect, but the real support and the opportunity for a bright future. I want to thank the county commissioners, everybody in the court system, and the community that stepped up and made this possible. I think it says a lot to be a member of this community and see that a program like this get launched. And I'm proud to be a part of that community. So on behalf of the General Assembly, myself and Senator Berger, I want to present to Chrissy, where did she slide off? A flag, first a certificate acknowledges that this flag has been flown over the U.S. Capitol, and for you proud to display it in your treatment court, and it's United States flag. Thank you for stepping up and being a part of a great program. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Katie Gregg, and I am your elected district attorney for Caswell and Rockingham County. I have been honored to be a part of this program and a part of its inception, watching it grow from a thought, an idea, to something that we are getting ready to start on Tuesday. It is difficult to believe that we have gotten to this point so quickly, but I am proud of the team that I have worked with. I am proud of every person in this room who has taken their time to be here today, who has believed in us, who has rooted for us, who has donated to us. I am thankful for you. I'm also thankful to introduce to you our next speaker. Now, he is not, with his bio is not nearly as long, but I did think, when did you graduate?
It's back in today.
89. He leaned over to me and said 92, and all I could think of was when you graduated, I was 5. When you graduated, I was a little bit older. A little bit. But both of these men have been wonderful rulers in our community, and so has Kevin Berger. Kevin Berger, he is one of our county commissioners, and he's been one of our county commissioners for the past 8 years. He has been a resident of Rockingham County, and he has been a lover of Rockingham County. He spends so much time dedicating himself to our community to make sure that our community is safe, to make sure that our community has the resources and things that we need so that we can live and grow here in Rockingham County. He is a he is a partner of the Berger Law Firm. He has been practicing law here in Rockingham County since 2000. I was still in high school. For anybody keeping track with that, he is married, and his wife is also an educator. He has 2 wonderful children, Jackson and Emily, and they were raised here in Rockingham County in our Rockingham County schools. He is a past pregnancy care center board. He was on the bar association, and he was the president of the local bar association years ago, and he was the town attorney for the town of Mayodan. He is someone who has believed in this program. He is someone who's been an active participant in getting us off the ground and getting our funding. And I'd like to welcome County Commissioner Kevin Ferger.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone that is here today. How did we get here? Well, it did start as a thought. It started with my brother, Supreme Court Justice Spielberger. I believe he heard something on a podcast and then made some connections with the Independence Fund. We have some of those gentlemen here today. He then reached out to me. I believe at the time, and I may have the number wrong, but at the time there were 7 or 8 counties in North Carolina that had a veteran treatment court. And started arranging a meeting that Chrissy alluded to of some of the players here at the courthouse. And Philip came in with the Independence Fund and just told them what this was all about. So the question then became, how do we make it happen? Well, initially we had to find some funding, and the commissioners were able to find some funding and hire somebody. Now, that somebody that we were able to identify and hire has been a huge asset, and that is Miss Tammy House. Without a doubt, we wouldn't be where we are today without Miss House. And Ms. Howell had retired from the sheriff's office. We were able to make some connections there, reached an agreement with the clerk of court, which is Abner Bullens. Abner working with Tammy in the sheriff's office, and agreed to have some space in his office for a period of times. And from there, it just mushroomed in a sense. So both Tammy and Abner, because Abner's got space issues, and we actually put you in a little cubby hole and put a door up, and it's almost like one of those lower-ranking members of the House that follows him. So she went to work, and being a retired county employee, there were some limitations on time. And I don't think there's any question that Tammy gave more time than we could ever pay her. And when I say she went to work, she then took it upon herself to do everything she had to do to write for this federal grant. That federal grant was only awarded to, I believe it was 5 districts in the United States. And so I know we've given her a round of applause, but Tammy, we wouldn't be here without you. And it's greatly appreciated, without a doubt. And of course, we had to talk and get cooperation from our district attorney, Katie Gray. Katie helped identify cases that were eligible for this deferred program. Chris Freeman, who was a district court judge at the time, being the JAG officer, certainly had a better understanding than maybe some of the rest of us as to what this really means. And of course, Chris has had the fortunate opportunity to be elected to the Court of Appeals and go on to a brighter future for him. And so that left somewhat of a void, but thankfully we've got other community people that stepped up, and that is Judge Derek Brandon and Chris's replacement, Judge Scott Skidmore, have been more than willing to help keep this moving in the direction of having this initial court date, which is next week. So with the grant program, we were able to identify somebody that my family has had a lot of trust in over the years. And and folks talked to her, and that's the lady that started this program. For those that don't know, Ms. Griffin worked for the Barker Law Firm, primarily my brother, for a number of years. She then worked for the District Attorney's Office. She's worked with Health Incorporated, so she did leave us for a little bit. And without a doubt, we've got a lot of confidence in her abilities to keep things moving and work and be self-motivated. So we certainly thank the world to her and thank her. So that kind of gives you a background and how we got here. We are one of just a handful of districts in North Carolina that have this. We have approximately 6,000 veterans here in Rockingham County. We've got assistant managers here. I think it's about 93,000 residents. And so we got a large number of veterans here. And just given some of these people that were willing to sacrifice their life for us to have the freedoms that we had, to give those people a second chance when they have just a slight mishap, perhaps, is the least we can. But again, I mean, we wouldn't be here without the lady in the back row and the work that she's done, and without my brother bringing this idea. And so we owe a lot to both of you. So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Skidmore. I'm your newest district court judge and your oldest. But I'm learning from these guys. So I know that all of us throughout our lives have been touched by veterans. Many of our family members are veterans. My son right now is in the U.S. Marine Corps. And we've all had those individuals who have had issues. And this is our opportunity to give back and to try to help our community and those veterans who live with us. And I came into this in the past few months, and I'm very pleased that I could step into Justice Freeman's shoes and be a part of this Veterans Court, along with Judge Brandon. She and I will be the two judges that are assisting, and I think both of us are honored beyond words. At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce our final speaker, and that is Clark Pennington. Mr. Pennington is the Chief Operating Officer of the Independence Fund. The Independence Fund is a veteran-based, focused nonprofit whose program, Veterans Justice Initiative, trains and works side by side with first responders to recognize veterans in crisis and try to avoid unnecessary criminalization, recognize mental illness and substance abuse issues where they may arise. And he, along with the Independence Fund, as you've heard, were key, along with the county commissioners, along with Justice Berger and others, in bringing this opportunity to this community. And we certainly thank them. Just giving you a little background for Clark. Clark spent his entire life with his passion for community service, public service, and law enforcement and education. He earns a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice from Mount St. Mary's University, Master's of Science degree in management with a focus in leadership studies from Johns Hopkins University. And he spent 6 years in the U.S. Army in the military police school. After that, he was in the Criminal Investigations Division, SWAT team commander for the Frederick Police Department in Maryland. And then came to North Carolina, where he became police chief at Matthews Police Department. And that is after he retired from Frederick Police Department. He is a Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Academy graduate and he's completed the executive leadership program class there and the first senior management institute for policing. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce to you all Clark Penny.
Well, first off, let me address the podcast. I wasn't really prepared for this, but I think it's a great opportunity to talk about how I was introduced to Justice Barrett. I had appeared on a podcast. Not really proud of the name, but it's called the Drinkin' Bros. It's a national podcast hosted by a United States Army military veteran and other individuals that talk about military and world issues. And on that podcast, I was recently, or this probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, talking about the opportunity that the state of North Carolina has provided the Independence Fund and our opportunity to serve our community. With that, the state of North Carolina passed a bill in 2021 called No Veteran Left Behind. That bill allows us to train law enforcement statewide on de-escalation, building rapport with our veteran population, and then ultimately resource management, case management of those veterans to move them from justice involved to recovery or other issues. And I was talking about that. We were talking about some successes we had in the western part of the state. And just so happened that Justice Berger also listens to the Drinkin' Bros and reached out to Dan Holloway, who is one of the hosts, got a hold of our CEO, and he and I connected, and we started to talk about ways we could take our program on a bigger scale, larger scale within the state of North Carolina, and he has been an awesome partner. So I appreciate you bringing that up, sir. It is my absolute pleasure to stand here with you today as we come together to support the most transformative, innovative system within our criminal justice process. It's the Veterans Treatment Court. Veteran Treatment Courts, or what we call VTCs, were created out of a deep recognition that those who have worn our nation's uniform often return home with invisible wounds. These specialized problem-solving courts are designed to serve justice-involved veterans who navigate challenges such as post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injuries, military sexual trauma, substance abuse, and other co-occurring disorders. Modeled after our drug and mental health treatment courts, VTCs blend structure with support. A process and something that most of us military veterans are used to is structure and support. They don't lower the bar for accountability. These courts, they raise it in a way that promotes healing and long-term recovery. Participants in veteran treatment courts commit to a rigorous journey. We heard earlier, 14 months they're committing to in this program. It's marked by regular court appearances, customized treatment plans, intensive monitoring, and critical peer mentorship from fellow veterans who have walked the same path that they are on. But what do these courts really do? They address the root cause of criminal behavior. They focus on the person, and they build a system where accountability and compassion are not mutually exclusive, but mutually reinforcing. They also reduce recidivism. They address the behavioral health needs of veterans, and these courts break cycles of repeated offenses and offer meaningful alternatives to incarceration. Ultimately, that means safer communities. It means fewer tax dollars being spent in jails and emergency room visits, and more veterans reunited with their families, healthy, stable, and employed. These courts also honor service. They acknowledge that our veterans are not defined by the worst moments in their lives, but their willingness to serve and sacrifice. We owe them a response rooted in justice and understanding. At the Independence Fund, or Veterans Justice Initiative, or VJI as we call it, we're proud to support counties across North Carolina in launching and sustaining these courts. Since our inception, VJI has trained over 4,900 police officers and first responders in trauma-informed approaches to interacting with veterans. We help courts, counties, and community partners identify their needs, build coalitions, and deliver services rooted in data and humanity. Our approach is collaborative, it's evidence-based, and it's deeply community-driven. Judges, public defenders, prosecutors, VA partners, peer mentors, and treatment providers each play a vital role in veterans' journeys towards stability. At that, what makes this model so powerful, it restores lives, strengthens families, and rebuilds trust. To the team here in Rockingham County, your commitment to launch this Veteran Treatment Court is a commitment in doing justice differently. You are joining a statewide and national movement to meet veterans where they are and walk with them to where they deserve to be. And to our brother our broader audience of stakeholders, I urge you, please consider what a veteran treatment court could mean in your community. At the Independence Fund, we stand ready to assist, whether you're just beginning to explore the model or prepared to build it. We're here to help you turn the vision into action. Rockingham County, thank you again for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership. And most importantly, thank you for believing that those who served our country deserve a justice system that serves them in return.
Thank you to all of our speakers and our special guests today. Thank you so much. One last request that I have, I know that there's a lot of people standing as well, but if you are on our current Veterans Treatment Court team, if you will stand. These men and women like to work behind the scenes, however, they deserve to be seen as well. So thank you all for your work and your teamwork. I couldn't imagine a better team for this court. So thank you all. We also have refreshments that we can lead you to in the back. And also on the first floor, the new office space that the county funded the construction on has been completed and we are moved in. It's not home yet, it's a house in the making. But we are so thankful for that space, thankful for the construction crew that did that, who actually had flowers delivered yesterday to thank us for letting them be part of this program as well. So feel free to look at the space downstairs. If you are a veteran, we are looking for mentors. That's one of the big parts of this program as well, is because while I can talk to them about what services they may be needing or their needs or their risk assessment or anything like that, another veteran provides that safe place for them that they can meet on a common ground to talk about the battlegrounds that they've seen before. So thank you for being here today. Feel free to talk to any of the team, get some refreshments, tour the space downstairs, and I just ask that you remember all of the veterans. Some are serving currently and some are fighting battles every day. So if you will just keep them in your thoughts, and thank you so much.